if you notice that you tend to respond very quickly and impulsively to emotional situations, you might need to learn the stop skill before you learn any other skill, because it will give you a chance to step back from the situation and think about what to do next and think which skill to use. The stop skill stands for initially stop, which means whatever you are doing, completely freeze. Do not do whatever it is that you want to do. So if you are about to overdose, then completely stop in terms of going to get the tablets out. If you are about to send someone an angry text message, completely stop and put the phone down. If you are about to have an argument with your partner, then stop and don't say anything. Whatever it is that you are wanting to do, stop. The T stands for take a step back. So ideally, completely leave the situation. You know, if you're in an argument, walk out of the room. If you're near tablets, walk out, go sit in the garden. Anything where you can completely remove yourself from that situation. And ideally, try and sort of take a few deep breaths to sort of mentally take a step back from the situation as well. The next part is O for observe, which means you are going to try and observe what is happening. So, we want to observe in a mindful way. So instead of thinking of the situation as he's been a jerk and trying to wind me up, which wouldn't be a mindful observation. That would be describing the situation in a way that's full of judgments and assumptions about the other person's intentions. Instead, try to observe and describe it in a mindful way. So it might be, I was talking to my partner and he didn't respond. I noticed judgments about him not caring about me and I'm having urges to shout at him. That would be a much more mindful description of the situation. So try to observe it mindfully. Observe both what the other person has done or what's happened around you, as well as your internal sensations. So what urges are you experiencing? What emotions are you experiencing? What thoughts are going through your head? Once you've had a chance to take a step back and observe things, the next part is to try and proceed mindfully. So think about, okay, what is actually going to be the most effective way of responding to this situation? And for that, you're going to need to use your wise mind, which I'll talk about in our mindfulness video. So using your wise mind, your sort of gut feeling, your intuition, to think about actually what's effective in terms of both your short-term goals and your long-term goals. So you might find that your short-term goal is to win this argument, but your long-term goal is actually to have a happy and healthy relationship, and you might realise that that long-term goal is more important than winning this particular argument. Or you might decide that proceeding mindfully is using certain DBT skills, like the tip skill or distraction, or DMN skill, and I'll create videos for each of those. So trying to think how to proceed mindfully. What can you do that's not actually going to make the situation worse? And that is the whole of the stop skill. It is usually something that people use as the first thing in a difficult situation, and then follow it up with whatever skills they think are going to be most effective. And sometimes people need a reminder of that skill. So we make little laminated stop signs that people stick around their house in particular places where they think they're going to need it most. So if they tend to overdose, they'll put the stop sign on the tablet, on the bottle of tablets, or if they tend to binge eat, they'll put it on the food cupboard to give themselves a chance to think. Or sometimes people will teach their family members or their partners the stop skill, so that the other person can perhaps prompt them, like, do you need to use the stop skill? Or so that their family members and partner understand what they're doing when they walk away, that it's not that they don't care or anything like that. They're walking away because they're trying to be skillful, they're trying to give themselves a chance to think before they respond. So it's really great if you can teach other people around you what skills you're using, and they can support you with that. So I hope that that's been helpful. There is a worksheet on this particular skill in the pack, which is linked below.